Janet, in all of the communication that I got from you, ever since that one session, when it began, the scolding began, when I was talking about Gigi, and then I made that response to it, that's on that video I'll put on here. The method is you mischaracterize what I'm saying as you can as an accusation or as playing victim or as being negative. That narrative you're pushing in order to make what I'm saying as wrong, to victim shame. You see? Now you're gonna say, oh, you use the word victim. See, I'm reporting to you what's going on without judging it, without playing victim, without doing accusing. Don't I always say, and I was saying with that client of mine, I was always to communicate with her, the parent who's abusive to the child. I'm to communicate with my supervisor. I'm not accusing, I'm not blaming, I'm not judging, I'm not disrespecting. It's none of those things. And then so for your narrative to go through and not to see what's going on, to refuse that communication, you're using that method and scolding, mischaracterizing what I'm saying as blaming, accusing. So I was telling you what Justine is describing to you, what Justine is doing. You saying I'm demonizing her. And when I was telling that other lady who had that class that was the pyramid scheme, she didn't know what was going on. I was gonna join that class, and then you went to the visitor, and she was telling me I'm judging. You shouldn't judge. So do you understand when something is being reported, communicated, in order to block that communication, you want to mischaracterize it as a judgment or an accusation or all of those things that you were scolding me for. That's the method. And that's what you were scolding me, saying you were the one drawing this in. But you were the one, those were your lips, those words were coming out of your mouth. That tone of voice, you keep saying it's not scolding. It's not scolding, it's this, it's that. It was painful to hear. I kept telling you it's painful to hear. I kept asking you to stop, and it's all those recordings. And it's not a judgment that I'm saying and reporting. This is a method you're using, and it's a lot of people. That's how abuse is perpetrated and perpetuated all over the world. Is when someone is reporting it, and then there is the tendency. People do mostly the tendency to blame and accuse and sue and judge and all of these things. Everybody does, which prevents what it actually is from being seen. When you're describing what's going on and somebody doesn't want to see it, they say, well, are you blaming me? Are you calling me a liar? Are you calling me a thief? Are you calling me an abuser? You understand? That's the method, and you of all people know about it, because as a healer, you taught me. I'm acknowledging, so you told me I should mention you as the source of what you look at the pattern. So if you want to look at the pattern, if someone is defensive, doesn't want that pattern to be seen, you can't look at it. So because they're going to deceive you so you don't see it, because they see it as an attack on their ego. So the pattern is there to not want to see something. So when it's being reported, when it's being communicated, in order so we can look at it and heal it, this is what healers do. You look at what's there, not as an accusation. So you don't want to see it, so you mischaracterize it as something negative. Your narrative, that you being negative, you drawing this in. and you keep saying it scoldingly. That is something that is contrived. You weren't doing that before I told the group that what you're doing doesn't sound right, and I cried, you denying I never said that to you. Do you understand? So I'm going to send this link on an email because you responded, and the only way you're communicating is I post something publicly. I posted that Yelp review. We responded it. So blocking communication, blocking, and then all these methods to not have it be heard. You can look at it and acknowledge it, and you won't be attacked for it. You will be a hero if you acknowledge what's not right and then set that example for everybody.